Another game from Calypso that we're covering today. Oh yeah, their big title from 2015, Grand Ages Medieval. Now before we jump into the review, there are a few things that we need to clarify. First, this game, despite its name, has nothing to do with Grand Ages Rome that I've reviewed previously. And second, if you have played any of the trading simulator from Calypso, well, you already know pretty much 90% of the game already. The basics are the same as in the Patrician series or Rise of Venice, but with a slight change from the modern ship shipping to ground caravan. The game is set in medieval era as the name implies. While you're completely allowed to create the game from wherever you want, there is also a camping mode. It is a little bit like in the previous title Rise of Venice, where you follow a set list of events that will modify the world and expand the area you can explore. It does get dull and repetitive since the core mechanics barely change after the first hour or so of the game, but the storyline goes on much further and makes you long out for more. That is, of course, if you're paying attention to it. The game basics are simple. You have to set up cities and expand your trade. Each city will have different resources available based on the environment where it is built. From these resources, you'll be allowed to construct up to 5 different production factories to produce the goods. You can build a wide variety of military units as well as merchants and colonists. Colonists are the ones that you'll send across the map to establish new cities to expand your empire, and merchants are the economical engine of the game. Merchants are straightforward. You set them up between cities while paying attention to the synergies between them and send them on their way. They will buy resources wherever they're cheaper and sell them to make a good profit. Like other titles from Calypso, it is a pretty casual simulator, and if you're a seasoned player, you will quickly find out what works and not in the game, and you can easily abuse it to generate a ludicrous amount of money. You'll be all back during the campaign since you will need to achieve some objectives from time to time that diverge from the commerce aspect, but unless you ignore the storyline completely, you will always be able to keep the economy going strong. There is a wide range of units available to wage war, but there is almost never any real opposition. The enemy will send few troops, but if you move a massive force, you should be able to clean them apart quickly. The unit's movement is somewhat cumbersome, but easy to manage. You have to lay siege on the enemy towns until they run out of resources, and then you can take them by force. Make sure to bring some food with you though, because your troops rely on the closest town for supply, and well, your newly captured town will probably have nothing in stock. There is also a technology tree that is simple to operate with 3 different branches to expand. There is the infrastructure one to develop your country, the production one, well, to develop your production, and the military one to unlock new and more potent units. And once you reach the end game, there's a 4th, the Academy, which offers different bonus. The art style is similar to Rise of Venice during the cutscenes, which I find gives a distinctive ambience to the game, and here again I have to say I am impressed by the quality. But during the gameplay we have a pretty basic 3D world with small models going on around on their own business and somewhat unappealing wilderness and roads outside towns. The game shines bright when you set the camera on towns, as you'll be able to see your burgeoning town expanding and growing as it prospers, and see a myriad of small NPCs doing their own business in an elegant fashion. The military units are well made too, although there's little variance in the model, and you never really get close up enough once you're campaigning in enemy territory, but it's still a nice feature nevertheless. One of the more troubling things is the somewhat constant pop-up of faces speaking to you that simply looks straight from a 2004 GPU tech demo. Now let's talk about the most important and immersive compartment of any game there is. Well, as long as you actually take the moment to listen to it. The music we have in Grand Ages Medieval is soothing and calming to listen to, a calm ambience that carries well with the immersive commercial system that you're building. If you are the kind to let play the stock music throughout your whole playtime, you may eventually find it somewhat repetitive, as the total playtime of all the music achieves about 40 minutes, so almost a somewhat normal game session for casual players. But since the music has a certain quietness to it, it is extremely easy to have it playing on a constant loop without too much notice, but that same quality also makes the soundtracks much less likely to be engraved in our memories to be forever on, even decades after putting the game down. The rest of the wide range of noises are satisfying to hear and nothing really worth of mention, except maybe the narrators that has an extremely engaging voice during the storyline cutscenes.
Intrigues and civil war result in the Emperor's throne constantly changing hands for centuries. It is only under Constantine X that the Empire finds a certain modicum of peace, in part thanks to his ravishing bride Eudokia, whose wisdom is known far and wide.
And here we have Grand Ages Medieval, another Calypso game that has nothing to do with its predecessor Grand Ages Rome and everything to do with business simulators that were maybe available before. If anything, I still prefer Rise of Venice for its more fleshed out grand experience. Hopefully you've enjoyed this review, and if you did, make sure to drop a like and a subscribe for more. See you next time.